In 1995, a World Bank official warned that the wars of the next century would be fought over water.
2018, the Joint Research Center listed these places as likely sites for so-called hydropolitical interactions: the Nile, Ganges-Brahmaputra, Indus, Tigris-Euphrates, and Colorado rivers.
Today, along the tense borders of India and Pakistan, this prophecy is alarmingly real. Here, water is more than a resource, it's a weapon.
In a fresh attempt to punish Pakistan, India has escalated the water strike as well. The water strike already launched by India against Pakistan by suspension of the Indus Water Treaty.
In 1947, the partition tore apart land and lives, leaving two nations dependent on a single water source, the Indus River system. The crisis that erupted in 1948, when India briefly cut water flows to Pakistan, sowed seeds of mistrust that persist today. In 1960, amidst heightened tensions, the Indus Waters Treaty was signed, dividing the rivers but promising cooperation. For decades, this fragile peace held, but peace built on water has proven dangerously unstable. In the early 2000s, water tensions boiled over. India's ambitious hydroelectric projects like Baglihar and Kishanganga alarmed Pakistan, sparking disputes that lasted years. Each dam became a flashpoint, each negotiation a reminder of how fragile the treaty truly was. Then, 2016 brought chilling words from India's Prime Minister Modi: blood and water cannot flow together.
Hello and welcome to IndianExpress.com. Indicating action against Pakistan, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said water and blood cannot flow together at the same time.
After a terror attack in Kashmir, the Indus Treaty became a pawn in political strategy, further corroding trust. April 2025. A devastating terror attack in Pahalgam killed 26. India swiftly retaliated, suspending the Indus Waters Treaty, a move unprecedented and controversial, plunging the region into chaos. Pakistan responded furiously, calling India's action an act of war.
इस बड़ी फतह को दुनिया आलम देख रहा है।
The delicate diplomatic thread that had held for decades snapped. Beneath political posturing are lives at stake. In Pakistan's Punjab, farmers like Ali Haider Dogar see their livelihoods vanish overnight. Floods or drought at India's whim could spell ruin.
The water flow is very low. By this evening, we have to irrigate this field and the one next to it.
Avas Kundal's land is threatened.
The water of the Jhelum and Chenab rivers, which irrigate this region, comes from India. The river water is rich in minerals, which makes the land more fertile. If it stops, the crop yields will decrease and the land will eventually become barren.
The voices from the fields cry out, "Water is our life. We can't compromise on it." Yet, compromise seems increasingly out of reach.
Before, this entire area was covered in water and we made a decent living. But with the water level dropping, it's become very difficult to catch enough fish to earn a living. The other danger would be if India suddenly opened the floodgates. That would destroy us. All the land, the fields, our homes, everything would be washed away.
There is no other source if India chooses to curtail this water. So the individual lives will be affected and the collective food security issue for the province, for the districts, for the villages and for the country as a whole could be affected severely.
Climate change intensifies this struggle. Melting glaciers, erratic rains, conditions unforeseen by the 1960 treaty. Millions now face uncertainty, yet the world watches silently.
Especially here in Pakistan, the glaciers are so huge, the phenomenon is so important that the quantity of water which is being produced by the melting certainly creates unwanted effects such as flooding, landslides, which affect the population.
Water diplomacy, crucial yet neglected, demands urgent rethinking to avert disaster.
Because of climate change, the glaciers are melting at an unprecedented rate, and that means dangerous floods and water shortages for tens of millions of people across Pakistan.
Not always discussed in the right places. So there's a lot of work done at the level of technical and development cooperation, and that's absolutely indispensable. And then this work is often justified, among other things, in terms of the contribution it makes to conflict prevention and deepening regional integration. And that's exactly how it should be. But in practice, the technical work does not automatically add up to political cooperation. And that's where you need a political impetus, and that's where we think, as the authors, that foreign policymakers need to come in.
Where is the international community now? This silence, deafening and dangerous, empowers recklessness. The Indus Treaty's suspension isn't just a regional crisis, it's a global failure.
We have an executive director at the IMF, meeting of the board of the IMF, and I'm sure that our executive director will put forward India's position. The decisions of the board are a different matter. You know the process through which they are made. But I think the case with regard to Pakistan should be self-evident to those people who generously open their pockets to bail out this country.
Today it's India and Pakistan. Tomorrow, who knows? This neglect risks a global precedent. The rivers that flow from Kashmir to Karachi sustain life, yet today they're at the brink of becoming battlegrounds. It's a crisis not just of water, but humanity itself. We must demand accountability. We must fight for cooperation over conflict, because when water becomes a weapon, no one wins. Subscribe for more powerful documentaries, share to raise awareness, comment your thoughts and join the conversation.